Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Mark Lynn. Namaskar. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. India to witness history in the making as Prime Minister designate Modi is set to take office for a third consecutive term. Rashtrapati Bhavan is all decked up for the historic event. Leaders from India's neighborhood arrive expressing support for India's neighborhood first policy. European nations to finish voting today to determine the shape and form of the European Parliament over the next 5 years. The much anticipated T20 World Cup clash between India and Pakistan to take place in New York tonight. Americans to see cricket rivalry at its best. Prime Minister-designate Narendra Modi will create history this evening when he takes the oaths of office and secrecy for a third consecutive term. Narendra Modi will become only the second Prime Minister in India's history to do so after Jawaharlal Nehru in 1962. The country's democracy has matured into a multi-party system.
On the 9th of June 2024, history will be made. It will be the first time in 62 years that an Indian Prime Minister takes oath for a third consecutive term.
प्रधानमंत्री जवाहरलाल नेहरू 3 बार वो भी प्रधानमंत्री हुए थे और उसके 62 साल बाद ये प्रक्रिया दोहराई जा रही है। इस 62 साल में हिंदुस्तान में कितनी राजनीतिक परिपक्वताएं आई, कितनी कॉम्प्लिकेशंस आए, क्या-क्या यहाँ का वातावरण बना।
National Democratic Alliance leaders have expressed their unwavering support to Prime Minister Modi as he sets into motion a third term at the helm of an NDA government. MPs, both youthful and seasoned, look forward to the next 5 years.
फ्लोर लीडर की एक जिम्मेदारी है, वो जिम्मेदारी के साथ जो है हम लोग काम करेंगे, सभी एमपीज को साथ में लेके, सभी पार्टीज से जो है समन्वय रखकर।
सच में एक हिस्टोरिकल मोमेंट है, इसलिए सारे देश से कार्यकर्ता आने के लिए बहुत ही उत्सुक है। सबको हम एकोमोडेट नहीं कर पा रहे। बंगाल से भी हजारों की संख्या में कार्यकर्ता यहाँ पे आना चाहते हैं। मोदी जी को तीसरी बार के लिए प्रधानमंत्री का शपथ लेते हुए देखना चाहते हैं।
Not only in West Bengal, BJP leaders in Kerala have expressed confidence that the southern state has now opened its doors wide to the BJP.
It was a game changer election this time. The 7 decades bipolar politics now turned to tripolar. And moreover, we have increased our vote share to 20%. Comfortable victory in Trichur, got one MP, and Attingal, Trivandrum, Alapi and many constituencies, we crossed 3. Our vote share has increased. So this was a game changer election. People accepted Narendra Modi's development politics.
With world leaders from India's neighborhood scheduled to attend the event, Delhi police have set up a control room on Kartavya Path, the historic road that joins India Gate to Rashtrapati Bhavan. On June 9 evening at Rashtrapati Bhavan, Prime Minister Modi, followed by his Council of Ministers, will also take their oaths of office and secrecy, forming the new cabinet and political executive of the Government of India. Bureau Report, DD India.
Well, ahead of the swearing-in ceremony, Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Rajghat in New Delhi. Narendra Modi paid homage to Mahatma Gandhi. The memorial is dedicated to the father of the nation. It marks the spot where Mahatma Gandhi was cremated on the 31st of January 1948. It consists of an eternal flame. Prime Minister-designate Narendra Modi paid homage to Atal Bihari Vajpayee, a former Prime Minister of India, at the Sadaiv Atal Memorial in New Delhi. Prime Minister-designate Narendra Modi paid tributes to the fallen soldiers at the National War Memorial in New Delhi, along with the Chief of Defence Staff, General Anil Chauhan, and service chiefs. The Prime Minister signed the visitors' book at the memorial. NDA leaders attended the tea meeting at the residence of PM-designate Narendra Modi, who shared his thoughts with the members of his cabinet who will be sworn in today. And our correspondent Siddharth Bharadwaj now joins us with more on this story. Well, Siddharth, who's expected to make it to the Union Cabinet?
Well, first of all, very good afternoon to you, Mark. But, answering your question, it's very difficult right now to say who will make it to the cabinet this time around, because everyone is waiting for that moment, and that certainly will find it out, in the evening's ceremony, which will set to take place at 7:15. But as of now, as you were also mentioning, the Prime Minister is residing when the meeting took place. We saw some visuals, and wherein we saw some important leaders who have previously held ministries like Nirmala Sitharaman, Piyush Goyal, Nitin Gadkari, Amit Shah, Arjun Ram Meghwal, and you also have Amit Shah. So these are all the ministers that we saw in that particular meeting, along with Chirag Paswan, and leaders, Anupriya Patel. So these are all the leaders that we have seen in the meeting, and it's very much expected that the cabinet would be constituted of all these members. But still, it's very difficult to say who will get what post when it comes to the cabinet berth. We'll get to see in the evening. For that, security arrangements have also been kept really tight for today's event. There is a 3-layer security which has been kept, and no flying zone. National security guards, along with other companies of security personnel and local police, have made sure that everything goes fine and smooth when it comes to today's evening, because it's a historic event. All eyes are on India when PM designate Narendra Modi will take oath of office for the third consecutive time, something which is happening after 1962. It marks a historic event. Certainly all eyes, like I said, are on India, and world leaders are also here following the neighborhood first policy of India. India has also invited the leaders from the neighboring countries. In fact, Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina was the first leader to reach Delhi, along with Seychelles Vice President Mohammad Afif. So these are all the leaders, along with others, who have come here for the ceremony. It marks a great event today in the evening when PM designate Narendra Modi will take oath for the third consecutive time. Over to you,
Okay,
Mark.
we'll leave it there. Thanks very much, Siddharth Bharadwaj, for joining us from the newsroom with that update. Now, behind Prime Minister Narendra Modi's historic victory is years of perseverance, from humble beginnings to his emergence as a global leader. Modi's journey continues to inspire the nation.
He is the man of the moment, Narendra Damodar Das Modi, a name synonymous with modern Indian politics, has once again led the Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, to a sweeping victory, and this is not the first time that his party has won.
मैं नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा.
He again made a comeback in 2019.
मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगा.
Born on September 17, 1950 in Vadnagar, Gujarat, Prime Minister Modi is a figure whose political journey is intriguing as well as inspiring. Rising from humble beginnings, his ascent through the ranks of Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh (RSS) to the BJP and eventually to the Prime Minister office in the country is a testament to his tenacity, vision and unwavering commitment to public service. His upbringing in a modest family instilled in him values of discipline, hard work and service to the nation, shaping his future endeavors. In 2001, he became the Chief Minister of Gujarat, a position he held until 2013. His tenure as the Chief Minister is often regarded as a transformative period for the state, marked by rapid economic growth, infrastructure development and social initiatives. Under his leadership, Gujarat emerged as one of India's most prosperous and industrialized states, attracting investments and generating employment opportunities. In 2014, his campaign was built on the promise of Achhe Din, which is good days, focusing on economic reforms, anti-corruption and national security. PM Modi's tenure has seen significant initiatives such as introduction of Goods and Services Tax (GST), Digital India Campaign, Swachh Bharat, Clean India and Make in India. His foreign policy maneuvers have also redefined India's position on the global stage.
Prime Minister Modi is the boss.
Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India, was right when he said the time is not for war. It is the time for sovereign equal states to cope together with the challenges we face.
Modi has done an unbelievable job in India. I mean, literally, and I know, the liberal press here, they beat the hell out of him. He's taken 400 million people out of poverty.
As his party wins the third term, his supporters celebrate. The nation watches closely, anticipating the next chapter in his remarkable political saga.
Well, South Asian and African leaders would be attending Prime Minister Modi's inauguration in New Delhi on Sunday evening local time. And now it reflects India's policies of neighbourhood first and also security and growth for all in the region. Anu Kaushik reports.
The stage is all set for the swearing-in ceremony of Narendra Modi as India's Prime Minister for a third historic term. Keeping in line with the country's neighbourhood first policy, leaders from India's neighbourhood will be attending the event in New Delhi on Sunday. Maldives President Mohammad Muizzu, Seychelles Vice President Ahmed Afif, Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, Mauritius PM Pravind Kumar Jugnauth, Sri Lankan President Ranil Wickremesinghe, Nepal PM Pushp Kamal Dahal, and Bhutan PM Shering Tobge. The leaders will also be attending a banquet hosted by President Draupadi Murmu at the Rashtrapati Bhavan the same evening. The presence of regional leaders at the oath-taking ceremony will also highlight India's Sagar or security and growth for all in the region vision, which focuses on maritime cooperation in the Indian Ocean region. This is not the first time neighbourhood first gained paramount importance at high-profile official events in India. In 2014, heads of state from South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation or SAARC nations attended the ceremony in which Narendra Modi took oath as India's PM for the first time. Leaders from BIMSTEC or the Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation were present at Modi's swearing-in ceremony in 2019. Anu Kaushik for DD India.
And Jessica Taneja joins us with more on the story. Well, Jessica, how does the oath ceremony emphasize India's neighbourhood first policy?
Well, look at the nations that have been invited for the oath-taking ceremony. You start with Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, with whom Prime Minister has had a strong relationship, whether it's inaugurating rail projects or perhaps the energy projects and further development of Bangladesh. India has always been there to sort of aid it in whatever ways possible. Then the Sri Lankan President Ranil Wickremesinghe is also here in New Delhi. And you'd recall when he became the interim president and prime minister back in 2022, when Sri Lanka was hit by an economic turmoil, India back then had also extended a credit line to sort of ease off some trouble despite some hefty electricity and fuel bills that Sri Lanka was witnessing at that point. reserves had depleted massively. India had entered into the picture. So it's always been establishing a good relationship with its neighbors as well. You look at Bhutan, the recent visit of Prime Minister to Bhutan earlier this year also highlighted how significant and important partner Bhutan has become over the years, and it always has been. And Shirin Tobgay, the Prime Minister, is also in the capital. And the Mauritius Prime Minister is also here. Crucially, the Mauritius Prime Minister and the Vice President of Seychelles is also here, highlighting the importance of the Indian Ocean region, and not to forget the Indian Ocean Rim Association, which the three countries are part of, and does sort of give it more significance. And since India has been participating and advocating as the global south and its presence in the Indian Ocean region, being a net security provider, has of course given it more space in that particular relationship with the Indian Ocean region countries. And of course that initiative set aside, following through from what BIMSTEC had earlier envisioned for these countries, and how India had put itself out when it comes to leading these particular, leading the area where there could be development on multiple levels, not just the economic development, but apart from that also aiding countries and influencing, the cultural ties with the soft power and people-to-people power also has been at display. Not to forget the Nepalese Prime Minister is also here in the capital, and also the Maldivian President Mohamed Mizu. An interesting change of turn of events here. Remember when Mohamed Mizu was elected as the Maldivian president, his first official visit was to Turkey and then to China, and there were severed ties with India briefly there as well. Well, the relationship has been going in the positive direction so far with his arrival as well. A lot of chatter with unease on the relationship should certainly go away.
Jessica Taneja joining us from the national capital. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is the only leader post-World War II who has been elected for a third consecutive term after completing the full tenure of each previous term, and with a consistent vote share in each election and a rising vote share as well. World leaders including Barack Obama, Justin Trudeau, Shinzo Abe, Angela Merkel won elections many times, but some of them, could not complete their tenures, and their vote percentages often dropped drastically.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is the only leader in the broader democratic world post-World War II who has been elected for a third consecutive term, after completing the full tenure of each previous term and with a consistent vote share in each election. There are few leaders in the democratic world who have had the opportunity to win 2 or more consecutive elections after the Second World War. Former US President Barack Obama won 2 consecutive terms in 2008 and 2012, but his vote percentage dropped in second time. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has also won the elections 3 times in a row in 2015, 19 and 21. But for the second time, his government could not complete its tenure. Japan's former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe also achieved these 3 consecutive victories in 2012, 14 and 17. Before this, he was also the Prime Minister in 2006 and 7. But none of his governments could complete their tenure.
The victory in the 2024 general elections are all owing to the Prime Minister Modi, his popularity. As you all know, around the world, his ratings for last several years have been no less than 77-78% around the world. So that speaks for itself.
Margaret Thatcher, also known as Iron Lady of Britain, won the 3 elections in a row in 1979, 1983 and 1987. But none of her governments could complete their tenure, and their vote percentage kept falling in every election. Similarly, Tony Blair also won the elections in Britain 3 consecutive times in 1997, 2001 and 2005. But like Thatcher, none of his governments could complete their tenure. In Australia, John Howard won 4 elections in 1996, 98, 2001 and 2004. His first government could not complete its term, and the vote percentage declined in the second election. In Germany, Angela Merkel won 4 elections in 2005, 2009, 13 and 17, but her vote percentage dropped in the second election. Vishal Baristo's report for DT India.
And Kriti Vadera now joins us with more on what's happening in the NDA camp. Kriti, what's the general mood like in the NDA camp before the swearing-in ceremony among the alliance partners?
Well, good afternoon, Mark. And to tell you here that since morning we have seen that Delhi appears to be a high security zone since yesterday, and Section 144 has been imposed since yesterday as the world leaders started arriving in New Delhi. And the way PM has started his day today early morning, he went to Rajghat to pay homage to Father of the Nation Mahatma Gandhi. Then he went to Sadaiv Atal, the former Prime Minister, to pay homage to former Prime Minister and his party senior leader. After that, he went to War Memorial as well to pay tribute to the brave soldiers of nation. This is how he has started his day, and the day is still rolling. After that, 11:30 was the time when these expected Council of Ministers were supposed to be at Prime Minister's residence, and we have seen that not just the senior party leaders and the former Council of Ministers from his own party, but the NDA alliance also reached PM's residence around 11:30 and 12 today. And yes, of course, when it comes to Bihar politics, several prominent faces such as Chirag Paswan was seen, and he was full with enthusiasm when he interacted with media. He said that I am going to meet the Prime Minister, and it was very obvious the fact that the people who have got the call for this tea at 11:32 PM's residence are expected to be in the Council of Ministers. And again, when it comes to faces from Bihar, Jitan Ram Manjhi also, the leader who has got a single seat, would also be expected in Council of Ministers. And when it comes to Bharatiya Janata Party being the majority of the seats, the main party for this coalition government of NDA, so several faces from last Council of Ministers could be Nitin Gadkari, Dharmendra Pradhan, Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh, Nirmala Sitharaman also, Jaishankar also. I mean, such faces will be repeated in this Council of Ministers as well. And new faces are also added. Bhupendra Yadav will be added. Jitin Prasad from Uttar Pradesh politics will be added to this Council of Ministers. And if I talk about the new faces for this Council of Ministers, would be very interesting faces. Former Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh and former Chief Minister of Haryana, Shivraj Singh Chauhan and Manohar Lal Khattar will also be seen in this cabinet for upcoming Modi 3.0. So these are the faces which will be highlighting Modi's next Council of Ministers, and Delhi is all set to host the mega event for today evening, and it's all set to be hosted in President House. So as of the sources, we are getting the news that all these alliance and the people, the leaders who were called in PM's residence in this afternoon, are expected to be in the Council of Ministers.
Joining
Mark,
us from New Delhi. Now, voters in 21 European Union countries, including France and Germany, will conclude a 4-day election for the European Parliament. It's happening today. It's concluding today. And it will define the EU Parliament's political makeup for the next 5 years. The election will shape how the bloc's 450 million citizens confront challenges, including a hostile Russia, increased industrial rivalry from China, climate change, and also immigration. Results are expected around 11:45 p.m. India time, or about 18:15 in GMT. And the other big story today is cricket, and India will aim to capitalize on an unpredictable Pakistan, the vulnerabilities within that team, the unfamiliarity with the tricky conditions in New York City. The traditional rivals are facing off in a T20 Cricket World Cup clash today. The match starts at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time, 14:30 GMT. Tapas Bhattacharya reports.
It's a sporting rivalry like no other. This weekend, cricket giants India and Pakistan are set to clash in a historic match in New York for the ongoing ICC Men's T20 Cricket World Cup. For the first time ever, these neighboring nations will face off on US soil as the T20 tournament makes its American debut. Both India and Pakistan have claimed the T20 World Cup once. India, the inaugural edition in 2007, and Pakistan in 2009. These teams have collided 7 times in the T20 World Cup. India have dominated with 6 victories, including a thrilling bowlout and a grand finale in 2007, and Virat Kohli's sensational heist in Melbourne in 2022. Pakistan's lone win came in 2021, where they shattered India's World Cup winning streak with a dominant performance in Dubai. As India takes the field, they are driven by a thirst for a major trophy, their last being the 2013 Champions Trophy. With Rohit Sharma at the helm, Virat Kohli's experience and Surya Kumar Yadav's explosive batting and the explosive bowling by Bumrah, the men in blue are ready to ignite the stage. On the other side, Pakistan, led by the consistent Babar Azam, is on a mission for redemption. With the batting lineup anchored by Azam and Mohammad Rizwan and the youthful energy of Saim Ayub, their ambitions are clear. Their fierce bowling attack led by Shaheen Afridi blends pace with experience, making them a formidable opponent. The stage is set. The players are ready. The world watches as India and Pakistan gear up for the battle like no other in a city that never sleeps. Tune in to witness history in the making. This is Taposh Bhattacharya along with my camera person S. Jaishank reporting live from New York.
Well, that's all we have in this edition of DD India Live. Let's know your thoughts on the news of the day. And for those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code and download it. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Mark Lynn from all of us here in Delhi. Thank you very much for watching DD India Live. Namaskar.